Pope Francis has been a beacon of hope and change within the Roman Catholic Church since his election in 2013. And tonight we delve into his remarkable journey from his early life in Buenos Aires to his groundbreaking leadership as the Bishop of Rome. Sheila Chillinga details some of his highlights in his life.
Pope Francis, the 266th Pontiff of the Catholic Church and Sovereign of the Vatican City since 2013 to April 2025, was born as Jorge Mario Bergoglio on December 17, 1936, in Buenos Aires, Argentina. The 88-year-old Argentinian born to Italian immigrants will be remembered as a man of many firsts. The first Jesuit Pope being a member of the Society of Jesus, this was notable given the historical tensions between Jesuits and the Holy See. He was the first Pope from the Americas, specifically from Argentina in South America, the first Pope born and raised outside Europe, and the first Pope to take on the name Francis, which he chose in honor of Saint Francis of Assisi. His early life was marked by a strong sense of faith and community, which would later shape his path to becoming a Jesuit priest. After completing his secondary education, Bergoglio studied chemistry before deciding to pursue a life of service in the church. In 1958, Bergoglio began his journey as a Jesuit, taking his first vows in 1960 and being ordained as priest in 1969. Later, his theological studies would take him to Argentina, Chile and Germany, broadening his perspective on the world. Bergoglio served as Archbishop of Buenos Aires from 1998 to 2013. It is during this period that he gained recognition for his humility and his tireless advocacy for the poor and marginalized. On March 13, 2013, Jorge Mario Bergoglio was elected as the Pope of the Roman Catholic Church, taking the name Francis. This choice of the name Francis has been seen as a defining element for his papacy, as it symbolized simplicity, poverty and care for creation. By choosing this name, Pope Francis underscored his commitment to social justice and environmental protection. Pope Francis' first act as Pope set a significant tone for his tenure, that of simplicity, humility and focus on marginalized. For instance, he opted to live in the Vatican guest house Santa Marta rather than the traditional papal apartments, reflecting his preference for a simpler lifestyle. In his first homily, Francis emphasized the need to be protectors of creation and of the poor, highlighting his environmental and social priorities. He used his first Easter homily to call for peace and environmental protection, setting a global agenda for his papacy. On his first Holy Thursday, Francis washed the feet of both male and female juvenile offenders, including Muslims, symbolizing his commitment to inclusivity and service. And on his administrative style, Francis received congratulations from cardinals while standing rather than seated on the papal throne, signaling a more humble approach to formalities. He wore simpler attire such as the iron pectoral cross he used as archbishop, rather than the gold one typically worn by popes. Conservative Catholics have criticized Francis for what they perceive as deviations from traditional Catholic doctrine. For instance, Francis faced criticism for his initial defense of Chilean Bishop Juan Barros, accused of covering up abuse, though later he apologized and initiated investigations leading to his resignations. His more inclusive tone towards LGBTQ+ individuals, including private meetings with advocates and perceived softening on same-sex relationships, sparked backlash from conservative Catholics who viewed these moves as contrary to church teachings. According to Archbishop Diego Ravelli, Master of Apostolic Ceremonies, the late Pope Francis had requested that the funeral rites be simplified and focused on expressing the faith of the Church in the risen body of Christ. As the first Pope from the Americas and a tireless advocate for social justice, he inspired millions, both within and beyond the Catholic faith. Sheila Chelangat for TV 47.